Hello my crafty friends, this is Monika from Also Petite. Welcome back to my channel. This is a fourth video in a Bożena Saddleback series where I walk you through how to make your own Bożena saddleback. Before I begin this tutorial, make sure to check out all previous videos in this series. The pattern for Bożena saddleback can be purchased on my website. In this video we are going to make the external slip pocket, learn how to install a press lock and turn lock hardware, and at the end we're going to attach the strap connectors to the gusset. Take both of the slip pocket pieces and place them right sides together. Line up on all sides and then pin along the top straight edge. Now you can sew the seam using 1 cm seam allowance. Take the pocket to the pressing station, open the seam and press it flat. Now you can bring both pieces wrong sides together and slightly roll the external fabric towards the lining, then press it flat. This will stop the lining from showing once we complete the pocket. Now you can top stitch along that finished seam, then baste around the curve. Take the external back panel and place the slip pocket right side up, just below the flap. Line it up and pin it in place. Then we can baste the pocket using 5 mm seam allowance. I have the midpoint marked on the back piece of my flap, so I'm going to turn it over so I can see what I'm doing. Take the press lock part and you can mark a midpoint at the top if you need to, because we are going to match it with the midpoint on the flap. Now you can insert the edge of the flap into the channel. If you have a different press lock hardware, make sure to follow the instructions on the packaging. I like to use an awl to pierce the fabric where the screws will be inserted, then add a small amount of glue into the screw holes. This will prevent the screws from becoming loose later on. Now you can insert the screws and screw them slightly, double check if you are happy with everything, then you can screw them to the end and let the glue dry. To find the prong placement, you will need to line up the top edge of the catch bar along the horizontal line of your marking. Center it on top, line it up, and then mark where the prongs are. It might be a little difficult to see, and depend on the size of your press lock hardware, you might have to move it slightly up and down. So for the best result, you can insert the washer over the prongs, then insert the press lock, and line it up on top of the front piece. You want to keep the same distance on both sides of the handle connectors with the edges of the front and back panels. Once you're ready, hold the washer down with your finger against the front panel and lift the flap. You might have to center the washer slightly and then mark the prong placement. Insert a pin at the edge of the prong lines, then using a seam ripper or small scissors, cut the fabric along the lines. The pin will prevent you from cutting the fabric more than you need to. If you want, you can add a small amount of fray check glue to the slits. Now you can take the back plate and insert the prongs into the slits. Turn the panel over to the wrong side. Insert the washer over the prongs and bend them in the opposite direction. You might want to use pliers to help yourself with this step. You can cover the washer with a piece of interfacing to protect the lining from damage. I like to use a fleece, add some glue, and glue it to the back. To install turn lock on the flap, we're going to take the back plate with screw holes and center the placement dot in the window. Make sure it is straight. Then you can mark the screw hole placement and draw around the inner window. Just like that. Now we need to draw a line around those markings because that is where we're going to cut the fabric. I like to use my seam ripper to cut a slit in the middle first and then use a smaller scissors to cut the larger hole. It is always best to cut it smaller because you can always make a bigger opening. Now grab the front plate and place it over the hole to check if it's big enough and no fabric or interfacing is visible inside the screw holes or the inner window. I have to trim off a little bit more fabric on one side. Double check if you are happy with everything. Then you can add some glue to the back of the front plate and place it over the hole. Next, grab the remaining back plate. You can apply a small amount of glue to the back and if you want, also around the opening. When ready, place the back plate on top, line it up, insert the screw into the screw holes and twist them tightly. This is how it should look like once it's done. To install the turn lock part to the front piece, just follow the instructions for the press lock. Take both strap connectors and press the longer edges towards the middle. When you're ready, you can top stitch on both sides about 7 mm from the edge. Grab a D-ring, fit the strap connector in and fold both short edges towards the center. Just like that. Next, add some double-sided tape to the back. Take your gusset piece and we're going to sew the strap connectors on each end about 3 cm from the edge. Make sure the strap connector is centered, then you can stitch a box around it. If you want, you can also install copper rivets in the middle. Thank you for watching this tutorial. In the next video, we are going to complete our Bożena saddle bag, so I hope you are as excited as me. See you soon! Stay crafty, friends!